Welcome to DevCap, a series where I give you a quick recap of what happened in the dev stream. I'm your host Creepy Banana, and let's get started.
Jumping into update 52, I want to start here with server optimization.
This is something they talk about in every dev stream at this point, so we're just gonna skip this, but better servers ahead. Brief mitigation. Hopefully this will placate the dudes review bombing the game. Gates will now automatically close. Players that friendly fire or self-harm vehicles will no longer be able to drive. Friendly faction Vics that are driven into water will now have a way to reclaim their inventory.
But I do want to mention this is experimental. It is something that we're going to have to fine-tune over time, and it's not going to be perfect.
And this will also help out the drunk drivers of the Foxhole player base. 100 shells in there. Players can no longer enter enemy-occupied vehicles.
One of the goals was ease of sharing with your team members without having everything locked down.
And some content mods are being disabled to reduce abuse. I'm not really sure what they're talking about here, so if you do know, please let me know in the comments. Structure event logs will catalog all these events, allowing you to find out who exactly did what. Reserve stockpile logs will also catalog all these events, allowing you to suss out the imposter among your ranks. A whole boatload of additional moderation features have been added. If you wish to read all of these, please pause the video and do so because I don't know how to read. You're now able to toggle individual structure icons. These icons will also have their own tooltips now, and intel icons can also be toggled on and off. This will allow you to customize your map and...
probably the most important thing, you'll be able to save your settings on the legend when you transfer regions.
On top of this, facility info will be shown on the map, making it easier to find a public facility to get that sweet truck upgrade. And on top of that, friendly railway networks will now be shown on the map. And speaking of trains, now you'll see an indicator that shows you where your train is going, depending on the active switches. And if you've been enjoying this video, then please indicate that by hitting the like button. Decay mechanics are being overhauled.
Before I get to the good stuff, I just want to have a big disclaimer there that we may have to move the numbers around during dev branch, and possibly we may have to do hotfixes during the live game to make sure that this mechanic is working as we expect.
So the old mechanics of maintaining bases are being removed to make everything a little more streamlined. Maintenance supplies will now be the main way to prevent decay on your structures. These can be produced at a factory, a mass production factory, or a materials factory at your facility. The cost, however, is linked to server performance.
So when there are few structures in an area, your cost of garrison supplies should actually be less. But if server performance starts to tank, you might find that you're spending more and more time producing garrison supplies.
Maintenance tunnels have a new purpose now. Players can use them to manage local structure decay, choosing what structure types it maintains and the distance of the decay prevention.
One neat small feature that's missing from this screenshot is when you hover over those icons, it actually shows you the exact icons for the structures that it's going to maintain.
Maintenance supplies will also passively repair decayed structures. There have also been some map redesigns to improve track placement. There's a new vehicle for both factions, the ACV, a heavy-duty construction vehicle that can fill in Tier 1 and 2 trenches and bunker husks. They also added Tier 2 storage rooms. Vehicles will freeze less. You can now choose the amounts of crates you pull from a stockpile, and it will also give you a nice time indicator. Builders, rejoice! Trains can now transport concrete. Combat Vics can now be stored in reserve stockpiles once again, which kinda cucks me because you know how I love borrowing from the clan parking lot. There are a whole bunch of minor new builder improvements, but once again feel free to pause and read these because I don't know how to read. There are some new facility upgrades, like the tinderbox, a minecart tank, and a coal power plant. Colonials are getting a couple of buffs because it's been very hard for them lately. The Wardens, however, will now feel the true pain of having an open top tank with the silver no hand, basically the Warden version of an LTD. The heavy explosive charge is now replacing satchels. This will also make it a two-man job, one to drop the explosives and the other to drop the detonator. Speaking of satchels though, they're becoming Warden exclusive? But don't worry, they're getting nerfed to be more like the Hydra. And a new anti-tank fortification has come, the Dragon Teeth. They are built with concrete, but are very strong and resistant to most types of damage, except for explosive damage. So that rounds up this update. Click the video on screen to see me and the boys clap some booty, and I love you. Bye.